Let's get to Hatriot Mail. This is the last Hatriot Mail of 2015. But what is Hatriot Mail anyway?
Because it's God's divine plan that every child be born, but an act of patriotic duty to snuff that bastard if he sets a foot near your stuff. Hatriot Mail, written by patriots who hate David Pakman, because America, and because freedom.
So tomorrow on the last David Pakman show of 2015, we're going to be talking about some of the top stories of the year, one of which, no question, is the increase in marijuana legalization and decriminalization. Yesterday, I told you the number of people who died from a marijuana overdose in 2014, the last year for which we have data. That number was 0, but that does not stop the marijuana anger from coming through in Hatriot Mail, and that is exactly the topic of this week's Hatriot Mail. Let's take a listen to that.
Unsubscribed. Yes, yes. I'm staying away from all the morons involved in the production, distribution, or presentation of the David Pakman Show. You were so far from the truth on the video released about marijuana addiction and overdose, I can't believe anything else you or your team reports is accurate at all. I'm so glad you and Lewis, who looks like a bum you cleaned up this morning, talks like one too, share the same moronic, degenerate opinion. You literally are tools of stupidity. And like about marijuana, you don't know anything about science. And I again could find better information in a few searches that isn't full of shit and plainly made up shit your team thinks is logical enough so the morons that continue to subscribe won't catch on. Don't worry, they are as degenerate and inbred as you. Possibly slightly less, but overall just as stupid. I can tell by the look in both these people's eyes. Their heads are full of shit, and I just can't give a flying f*** what these morons erroneously believe. I'm out of your circles, diapers. Stay dirty, douches.
Yeah, this is such a misunderstanding. We had a guest on who said, yeah, there is such a thing conceptually as a marijuana overdose. But when we're talking about a fatal overdose, no, there have not been any. Conceptually speaking, though, you can overdose. I mean, you can overdose on almost anything. But a lot of anger, Lewis, a lot of anger about marijuana. And then there's the people who are angry with us because they think we're promoting smoking pot when we point out the hypocrisy of marijuana being illegal.
Yeah, alternatively, this could have been a Hatriot who thinks that people do die from pot, or it could have been one of those really crazy anti-pot people.
Yeah, like Nancy Grace, for example.
Nancy
CNN
Disgrace.
Headline News. Yeah, very nice. Okay, that's it for Hatriot Mail for 2015. Big things in Hatriot Mail coming next year.